When it comes to your workouts, are you stuck in a routine? Are you doing the same thing day in, day out, the same rep range, the same sets? Well, I know I've talked a lot about that in the past, but I'm going to be talking about a different way to change things up today. Completely new, completely different than anything I've talked about before. So strap in and get ready for episode 067. Let's go.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast. Hello, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And we're talking about circuits today. Now, if you've never done them, or maybe you have done them, we're going to change things up a bit, and we're going to talk about why doing circuits every now and then is really beneficial for your health, for your muscle gain, for your athleticism, for your endurance levels, and all that really good stuff. So, for starters, a circuit is basically when you combine a lot of different exercises together and you go in a very quick manner. Now, I'm not talking about rushing through your reps. I'm talking about you jump from one thing to the next very quickly because, as you know, I've preached it all the time, your form has to be right on and your reps are to be performed slowly. So, I'm not saying abandon that and just rush through stuff. What I am saying is when you get done with one exercise, you jump right into the next one without taking a rest. Now, this is really difficult. You'll find after a few exercises that you're like kaput. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So get ready. So here's the way I would suggest setting up this circuit. First off, figure out what muscle groups you want to work out in your circuit. Do you want to do a full body circuit? Personally, I recommend the full body circuits. I think it's a great way to really, really push yourself and get out of the whole just grouping certain muscle groups together because we do that a lot. And so this kind of breaks that mold. So what I suggest you do is pick 2 exercises from each muscle group. So we've got chest, we've got arms, we've got back and shoulders, we have legs, we have core, we have all these different muscle groups. And what I want you to do is I want you to pick 2 from each one. So you should have a total roughly around 10, give or take, maybe 12, depending on how you break up back and shoulders and biceps, triceps. Now, what you're going to do, again, you're going to pick 2 exercises from each one. And you're going to go in order. So you're not going to do 2 chest, 2 bicep, you're going to do 1 chest, then something else, then something else. And once you get through all the muscle groups, then you'll do 1 more exercise of each muscle group. So you're not doing any one muscle group back to back. What I want you to do is make sure you have either use the stopwatch on your phone or make sure you've got a watch on so you can really keep track of the time. Because if you don't, your rest times are going to creep up on you and you're going to find that you're not really even doing a circuit because you're pausing too long in between. You want to keep your breaks to less than 30 seconds in between each exercise. It's going to give you enough time to re-rack whatever you're doing, get over to the next exercise, and get after it. Nothing more. That's all you want, 30 seconds in between. So another thing about this is because of this, you're going to get through your workout a lot quicker. It's not going to take you a full hour to do 10 exercises when you're only resting 30 seconds in between, but you're going to find that you're more whooped than if you had spent a whole hour. So let's break down exactly how you're going to set this circuit up. So let's say your first exercise is the bench press, hitting chest. So you go and you do your bench press, you do your standard 3 sets, and you make sure you do in proper form. You're making sure you go slowly through the reps. Then as soon as you rack that weight, you're going to go, let's say, to the bicep curl, and you're going to do bicep curls. And again, you're going to go slow through those. You're going to do the right form, and you're going to pump those out. Then from there, you're going to go do something, maybe legs, maybe some weighted lunges, and you're going to run over and do those. Then you're going to go do maybe some overhead tricep extensions. Then from there, maybe you're going to go do some face pulls or some rows. So it doesn't have to be structured that way. I'm just using those as an example, but you want to break up each exercise. Then when you're done with all the muscle groups, you're going to come back and you're going to start over, not with the same exercises, but with the same order of muscles. So if you did chest first, come do a different chest. Maybe it's going to be some cable flies or some plate raises, whatever your exercise of choice is. And then you're going to go through the cycle again. What you're going to find, and again, you're only resting 30 seconds in between each different type of exercise. You might find that you're not able to complete it, especially if you've never done this before. Depending on your level, like, this is hard. It really is. It really taxes the body. You'll find, especially by the time you get to your second round of all the muscle groups, you're not going to be able to lift as heavy as you're probably used to lifting on those normal exercises, because at this point you're already exhausted. The reason I really recommend doing this is there's several reasons. First off, again, we get in a routine, which is good. I love routine. I love habits because it keeps us motivated and it keeps us dedicated to working out. But we get in a routine where we no longer are pushing ourselves. And so this is a great way to break out of that mold. And, if you do a circuit several days in a row, you don't have to worry about fatiguing your muscles too much, because you're not spending an entire day doing, 10 to 12 exercises where you're just hitting one muscle group. You're only doing 2 each day. So there's not this fear of overworking the muscles. Another reason I really recommend doing this is because you're going to find that you may be really strong, but your endurance may suck. You may get 3 minutes in and be gasping for breath. Or you may be struggling to get anything up after the first round while only taking a 30-second rest. So it stretches our bodies in different ways than we're used to. We're used to trying to put more weight on a bar and get it up, but we're not necessarily used to going in this fast-paced style that's really working both our muscles, our lungs, and all of that. So it gets us in a different physical state, obviously, but it also gets us in a different mental state because we're doing something out of the ordinary that stretches us. And that's the big thing here. We want to really dig deep and pull out more from us, because myself is included in this. I know that I'm capable of way more than I do. And I know that you are too. We set these low expectations of what we're capable of in the gym. We think, well, I can only bench press this, or I can only do this, and I can't do that. And we have all these restrictions on what our body can and cannot do. And we very, very, very rarely ever take our bodies to the extreme. Like, very rarely. We don't really even know what that looks like because we've never done it. I recently did a circuit-style workout that challenged me exceedingly. I didn't think that I was going to be able to finish it. I truly didn't. I did get through it, but I thought I was going to die at the end. And I work out a lot. I'm in pretty good shape, but it kicked my ass. And it made me realize, just because I can go in there and crush it on some weights doesn't mean I'm well balanced in all areas. It doesn't mean that I'm flexible or have a good endurance or these other elements outside of being strong. And for me personally, I always preach being well-rounded, being sound of mind, and we want to be physically fit and emotionally fit and nutritionally fit. And so it's all this one connected thing, and it's important. And so it goes without saying that I also think that being not just strong, but fit and having endurance and being athletic, all those are super important, because we don't just want to settle for second best or just for the par. We don't want to start doing the whole, I'm healthier than Joe Smo down the street, or I'm healthier than Sally Ann. Like, we don't want to get in that mentality. By the way, if your name's Joe or Sally, those were the first names that popped in my head. But we don't want to limit ourselves. And we limit ourselves so much, not just in the physical realm, but the mental realm. We think we are so confined when we're not. It's limitless, really, what we're capable of. So I hope this encourages you. Get outside the box this next week. Kick butt on some circuits and let me know how they go. I love connecting with my listeners. You can find me on social media at Facebook and at Instagram. We have a great group over on Facebook, so join that and let me know how it goes. Let me know what you're struggling with in the circuit, how it went the first time, how it challenged you and how it's stretching you.
And also, if you're new to this whole thing and you're like, well, I don't even know if I'm at that level, how to begin, go to bonestobulk.com because I have a free video workshop on there that lays the foundation for you, and it's free. You'll see it right there on the homepage. You can't miss it. Sign up for that. It'll be delivered to your inbox. Easy peasy, right? All right, well, I'm going to quit yakking. Just remember that you're capable of far, far more than you think. Break the mold, break the confines that hold you back. You've got this.